Good evening, KU.
And welcome back. We were off for a week because we had our spring break.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do for spring break?
Well, I believe we have a picture. I went to Hawaii, and it rained most of the time. But when it didn't, we went on a hike, and we found these two lovely birds out by the water, and it was very fun.
I was back home in St. Louis celebrating St. Patrick's Day with my family, with my sister and our family friends. And we had about 40 people over at our house while the downtown parade was happening.
Nice. And we also have, the studio staff has some photos as well. This is a photo that Emma took at the Big 12 game with the controversial LED stage.
Anson was at the zoo in Omaha with his family, and he had a great time.
Ooh, yeah, nice recycling bins. Gunnar was in Lake of the Ozarks with his friends by Discount Mickey Mouse. Mm-hmm.
And he was also at his friend's lake house, which is where they were staying.
Yeah, at Lake of the did I say Lake?
Yeah, Lake of the Ozarks.
Now they're in Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Well, now they're here in studio, but yeah.
We have a photo of Lainey celebrating St. Patrick's Day as well. We believe it's Chicago. We could be wrong, but that's our guess.
And then we have Lily, who was in Mexico riding horses on the beach. Nice beach. Yeah.
We have Livia, who was at Seagrove, Florida, and it was cold, but she didn't care, so she still got in the water and swam for several different days.
Nice, yeah. Lots of beach stuff. Mackenzie was in Florida with family, and they went on a 4-hour deep-sea fishing trip. She caught a pufferfish, and the photo on the screen is of grouper. It's a group of grouper.
Maddie was in Scottsdale, Arizona. She was there for her brother's baseball tournament, and we've heard that they got third place overall in their tournament.
And then Reagan, we actually don't know. It looks like there's a bush and some trees, so hope it went nice.
Where are you guessing she is?
Montana? I don't know.
That's not a bad guess. Jamie was at home, which is her home place is in Seattle, and she took a beautiful photo of one of the places she was visiting.
Great, yes. And Tyler went to Texas, more specifically to a Buc-ee's in Texas, no particular Buc-ee's. And
this is what our photos are for people who went on spring break. Spring break reminds me of the fact that we only have like 6 weeks left of school.
After this week, we'll have 6 weeks. I'm not graduating. Well, I mean, soon I will be, but not this semester.
I have till 2029. But what I hear is that graduating seniors should plan on attending the cap and gown consultation this week in the Kansas Union Ballroom. Spring graduates can get custom fittings and savings, as well as explore all the options for academic regalia. The Grand Fair continues tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Oh, with that out of the way, now we're tossing it over to Lainey with a special guest, Jacob Johnson.
Today we are joined by Jacob Johnson, who is the founder and producer of Heartland Huddle, and he got to go to San Diego for the March Madness tournament this past week. So we're going to ask you a few questions about both of those cool things.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been here for 3 years. I'm a junior now, so I've been involved with a lot here, and I'm excited to share.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you here today.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
Okay, so to start out, can you just explain to us a little bit about what Heartland Huddle is?
Yeah, so Heartland Huddle is a high school football show that was started last year. And what we do is every Friday night in the fall, we go out and shoot high schools. So anywhere from Kansas City to Wichita to Topeka. And we all get those highlights, get those films, get those interviews. And we have almost a 30-minute show every Monday here in the J School in the studio. And so I started off with the year prior when I was on the show called Run It Back. And I just shot high school by myself. But I thought this could be a really cool show one day. And so that's kind of what led me to creating the show last year. And I have an amazing crew, and yeah, we do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that's so cool. So like you've always been interested in shooting high school, but like what originally inspired you to start shooting high school
So
sports?
As somebody who did play high school football in Kansas, high school football is obviously one of my favorite sports of all time to watch. But originally how I got started covering it was I came in here one day before my sophomore year, and I asked Cal Butcher, who's the studio director, I said, hey, do you have, what can I like do? Is there anything like interesting or kind of unique to cover? And he said high school football, there's a lot of opportunities there. And I said, never thought about it, really like it, so I decided to try it, and ever since then it's been my bread and butter.
That's great, and that's so cool that you did it by yourself this year, and then or last year, and then you were able to make a whole show out of it. So how many people help you out? How many people are on the crew, and what are their roles?
So we had about 20 people on the show pretty consistently, and we had people do reporter. We had specific reporters. We had an anchor, so we had someone anchor the show each week, kind of like our host. And then also we had people who just did photography and videography. So we had people go out to games and shoot. So those are kind of our specific roles as well. In the future, because the show will be back next semester, I'm looking for somebody to do social media as well as potentially create web stories. So I'm excited to kind of open those new opportunities and new roles in the fall.
Yeah, that's great. And what do you love most about it?
Oh man, I'd say probably I love sports. Anytime I get to talk about sports or cover sports, I love it. It's a very big passion of mine, especially high school football. One thing I love about high school football and high school sports in general is that everybody who's in it, they're passionate about it, and kind of like how it is in college now and pro sports, you get paid, but in high school you don't get paid. Everybody does it because they like to do it. And so that's kind of what makes the game pure, especially high school football, as well as like track. I love track as well.
Yeah, are you ever looking to expand the show like outside of football, high school football?
Yeah, right now it's called Heartland Huddle, which is a huddle. It's a football term, but maybe we might expand the show to maybe like Heartland Hoops or Heartland Bats or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
Huddle,
see.
you can huddle
Hopefully
in multiple
in the
sports.
future, it'll expand that way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, that's great, everything you're doing right now with that. And then, so I know this past week you got to go to San Diego for the March Madness tournament, which I was there too, but I think your experience sounds really cool because you were in the media room doing lots of things. So how did you get to go, and what was it like?
So what happened is that I think about a month ago, I told Cal, I said, hey, is there an opportunity to go to March Madness? He said, yes, you're going to have to pitch some ideas, some content ideas. So pitched that to him along with several other people in the J School. And so we went there and we were able to create a lot of content for social media and also our various shows like Playmakers, KJH, and then also create content and film for the other shows can use as well, like Run It Back or Good Evening KU and other shows as well.
Yeah, that's great. How many of you were there?
So I believe 5 of us from Playmakers and KJH, and I think maybe I couldn't tell you the number on the Kansas people, but 5 people who were pretty consistently here in the studio.
Okay, and then what was like a typical day for you guys like on the game days?
So it's funny because I had a video coming out about this for the J School, but it was sort of a day in a life. So how it kind of started, especially game day, I'll use the game against CBU, is that we wake up, and we get to the game. First of all, every time you're covering a game or like a big sporting event, you gotta kind of have a mental checklist. So here's what I'm gonna cover. First of all, you need your equipment, your camera, tripod. You gotta make sure you have that. You gotta make sure your battery's charged. Just for anybody who wants to do sports or cover sports, just make sure that you got your camera and your battery's charged. If you don't have that, you're screwed. But you get there, you shoot the game. You make sure as well, whenever your game, especially at March Madness, there are some places you can't film. So make sure you don't get kicked out anywhere. And so what I did is that filmed the game, covered the game. I could sort of write my script that I was going to create for my package and story after the game. And so specifically after the CBU game, my question for Bill Self in the press conference was, because they were playing St. John's, and St. John's is a very physical team. And so my question for Bill Self was, hey, how do you, with St. John's being one of the hottest teams in the country, how do you feel that your team can get past them? And so he explained, St. John's, because they won the Big East, they're pretty low seed relatively to how they finished in the regular season. So that was quite surprising. But one thing that KU was gonna need to do was they're gonna need to get past their bigs, and so just kind of explain what they need to do to beat St. John's. Obviously that didn't happen, but that was overall kind of like the game day experience.
Yeah, that's so cool. So did you get to interview Bill Self or ask him a question after the St. John's game too? Because I know that press conference interview was
after the St. John's game, I know a lot of people wanted to know if he would like retire or not. So that was sort of the big news on that. He said he would take a couple weeks, but we'll see. Right now, I'd probably look in the next 4 or 5 weeks to see maybe what he's gonna have.
Yeah, I know. We'll see what happens.
We're excited.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I loved hearing about your experience in Heartland Huddle. Make sure everyone to tune in to Heartland Huddle Mondays. What time on Mondays?
In the fall, Mondays at 1 p.m.
That's what I meant to say.
Stay
Sorry,
tuned.
in the fall.
Yep.
Make sure to join in the fall on Mondays. Well, thank you again so much, and we will be back right after this break.
This is Cecilia. Cecilia goes about her day like everyone else. She gets ready for the day, cleans her dorm, and does her homework. Good job, Cecilia. But even though it doesn't show, Cecilia is not feeling like her best self. She feels like she can't talk to anyone about how she feels, because every college kid is supposed to feel this way. Right? Well, no. Cecilia realizes that she needs to talk to someone, so she goes to the KU Health Center for a Jayhawk check-in. Cecilia feels heard. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now. No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just 2 people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to
1,
do
2,
the
3,
end.
4.
It's just I don't know the
Sorry.
head.
That's great.
It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Lily.
And I'm Livia, here with today's news update. A deadly accident at LaGuardia Airport in New York has left 2 pilots dead after an Air Canada regional jet collided with a fire truck while landing. Over 40 passengers, crew members, and emergency responders were hospitalized, although many have since been released. The airport was shut down following the crash, with a ground stop issued as investigators began examining what went wrong. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy defended air traffic controllers amid speculation that they were distracted by another flight.
I would caution pointing fingers at controllers and saying distraction was involved. This is a heavy workload environment.
In its aftermath, the incident at LaGuardia is raising renewed concerns about runway safety across the country.
KU is inviting students and faculty to attend public presentations for finalists in its search for a new dean of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. 4 candidates will present on March 30th, April 6th, April 13th, and April 16th at various locations across campus, including Watson Hall and Capitol Federal Hall. Officials say more details, including live stream options, will be shared soon.
Released just 5 days ago, sci-fi adventure film project Hail Mary is already making waves at the box office, earning $140 million in its opening weekend and becoming the biggest debut of 2026 so far. The film, starring Ryan Gosling as science teacher and biologist Ryland Grace, also set a new record for Amazon's highest opening weekend. Based on the novel by Andy Weir, the blockbuster is expected to be one of the year's biggest hits as it continues its strong run in theaters.
The City of Lawrence claims that about 5,000 residents may have received incorrect printed utility bills dated March 16th with other customers' names and addresses. Officials say the issue only affects mailed bills, and accurate information is available through the city's online utility billing portal. The city is working to send corrected bills this week and emphasizes that accounts remain secure with no sensitive information exposed. Residents with questions are encouraged to contact the utility billing team, preferably by email due to high call volume.
A California jury has found both Meta and YouTube liable for harming a young woman's mental health, ruling the companies knowingly designed addictive platforms and failed to warn users of the risks. The jury awarded $3 million in damages and may add more punitive penalties. The case is the first of over 1,500 similar lawsuits and could lead to major changes in how social media companies operate, especially for younger users, while also exposing them to billions in potential losses.
Now, over to Gunnar with sports.
The men's basketball season is over after a 67-65 loss to St. John's, but the women's team is still alive. We all know by now about the men's coming back for a 14-point deficit, only to lose the game on a layup as the time ran out. The men finished their season in the round of 32 with a record of 24-11.
The women, however, have won 2 games in the WIT tournament. After knocking off Troy in the first round, the Jayhawks used a strong defensive effort to hold off Rice in the second half. Head coach Brandon Schneider said that while it's not the NCAA tournament, the team is still committed to extending their season.
Yeah, I think they're excited about the opportunity. At some point you have to, get over the disappointment of, not playing, in the NCAA tournament, or get over the disappointment of not playing well enough in certain moments in the season to be in the NCAA tournament and take advantage of the opportunity in front of us.
KU will host San Diego State in the quarterfinals tomorrow in Allen Fieldhouse. The Jayhawks are 21-13 this season. Tip-off tomorrow is at 6:30 p.m.
For the men, sophomore Flory Badunga is one of 10 semifinalists for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award. Badunga has already won the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and if he wins this national award, he will join former Jayhawk Marcus Garrett, who won the award in 2020.
The baseball and softball teams have continued to find victories on the diamond. The baseball team swept Houston last weekend and crushed Sacramento State last night to raise their record to 16-8 overall and 4-2 in Big 12 play. They are playing Sacramento State again today, and the last time we checked, the score from Hoagland Ballpark was 6-4 in favor of Sacramento after 8 full innings.
The softball team took out 2 of 3 against Utah last weekend at Rock Chalk Park. Kansas is 23-9 overall and also 4-2 in the Big 12. The Jayhawks are in Provo, Utah for a 3-game series with BYU beginning tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
In track and field, the Jayhawks' dominance in pole vault continued as junior Ashton Barkdale won the Indoor National Championship in Fayetteville, Arkansas. He's KU's 3rd indoor national pole vault champion. Senior Anthony Meacham placed 6th in the event, and on the women's side, Mason Minershagen finished 8th and was also named to the All-America team.
Additionally, KU pole vault coach Tom Hayes was named as the Midwest Region Indoor Assistant Coach of the Year. This marks the 5th time Coach Hayes has won the award, combining both indoor and outdoor seasons. He was also the 2011 National Collegiate Pole Vault Coach of the Year.
The outdoor season began last weekend at the Jayhawks Spring Fling, and the teams will head to Emporia on Friday for the ESU Spring Open.
And finally, the tennis team continues to upset opponents ranked higher than the Jayhawks. KU knocked off 19th ranked UFC last weekend to improve 9-7 overall and 5-2 in the Big 12 Conference. KU travels to Arizona this weekend to play both Arizona State and Arizona.
That's all we have for sports. Coming up, we'll be joined by our fellow Good Evening KU members for a spring break recap game. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Good Evening KU. We are doing our spring break trivia recap game. We have two teams. It's Gunnar and Anson, and Lainey and Jacob.
All right, so how this is going to go is we have a various amount of questions.
And we're keeping score.
We're keeping score.
Our first question is, which Good Evening KU member rode horses on the beach during spring break?
I have a guess. Lily?
That is correct. It was Lily.
Okay. All right, we're locked.
Okay, our second question.
Who went to Seattle for spring break?
This is true. I do remember this. I was there for that. Yeah, we're giving out half points.
Can we get like a hint? Can we get like...
I heard God, something whispered to me. I don't remember what it was.
And her picture was cool. I remember what the picture looks like.
The picture was Aura.
You guys are just repeating what I'm saying.
No. It was great. Hey, can I phone a friend?
All right, that seems like no one's getting a point here.
No one's getting that.
The correct answer was Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie.
Sorry, this is a great picture.
Our third question. Which member partied on St. Patrick's Day? Team 1.
Jane.
Jane is correct.
We're getting swept! This is horrible.
That was our St. Patrick's Day party. We've been doing it for about 30 years at our house. Okay, our fourth question.
Who stopped at Buc-ee's?
Oh, we're raising hands?
That was Gunnar. You said your hand up first.
Tyler.
Yeah.
That is correct. It was Tyler.
I know you're my boy.
Who, on Good Evening KU member, traveled to the lake in the Ozarks?
It was me.
That is correct. It was Gunnar, and Gunnar got it right. For our final question, which member went to see the Big 12 tournament?
There's one person in particular.
Lainey, had your hand up first. Emma is correct.
Let's go.
And
so keeping our final score
is
3-2. With Lainey,
Not bad. That could have been worse.
Lainey and Jacob won.
Yeah. I know my friends.
Good job, guys. Thank you this week for watching this episode of Good Evening KU. Make sure to tune in for next week's show next Wednesday at 5:30.
Same time, same place.